No one
Sure.
that has ever bought Bitcoin and held for 3.5 years has lost money. Nobody. But these people that have hubris, they won't learn from the chart. They won't learn from the paradigm shift. If they would subscribe to me and follow me, they would be a lot smarter. So
Okay.
lending your coins
Yeah.
if you get yield from, like you said, some of these people, you give them your coins, you hope they pay you back some interest. That's how people lose their money. That is the opposite of why cryptocurrency was invented. You're taking your money and giving it to someone else and begging and hoping that they give it back to you, and they get hacked all the time.
Right.
All the time. There was a company that lent out coins similar to Celsius and BlockFi.
Mm-hmm.
They went bankrupt. They just lost enough money that they couldn't pay everyone back. So everyone got new.
So, guys, he predicted it, and it looks like everything he has said so far has come absolutely true. Welcome to Crypto Bros, guys. Before we get started into this video, give this video a thumbs up. It does help me out a lot. Lets me know you guys are enjoying the content I am coming out with. And consider subscribing if you are brand new here. We come out with crypto videos that are TA news driven, so you don't want to miss it. Turn on that bell notification so you get notified when we upload a video, guys. I love doing these live streams with you guys because it allows me to basically communicate with you. If you have any charts you want me to look at, put it down in the comment section. We'll go over it and go from there. And I enjoy these live streams coming on here, and hopefully we continue to do them every single day. I am pumped in this market, and I hope you are pumped as well too, because there is a lot of fear still, extreme fear, extreme panic right now. We have an uptick in the index from 7 to 9. Now that's not crazy, guys. That's not crazy. 2-point tick up. You can still understand why people are still fearful, because they think we are going to $10,000 to $11,000. Is Richard gonna be right here? Is Richard Hart gonna be right that we are gonna go down to the $10,000, $11,000 mark? Is he right? Can we say that he has a point? He's been right so far. He has been right so far, and is he going to be right again in terms of us going down to $10,000, $11,000? We talk about the key target areas here on this channel, and let's kind of go over some of the stuff here on Bitcoin, just see where we're kind of actually heading. So we had this waterfall spill come in, and basically bears tearing us up, literally just tearing us. I'm looking around and I'm trying to understand where the bounce is. There is no bounce at the moment. I want to look for a bounce, and there is no bounce happening. This is historic times we are living in, and we can see this on the weekly, guys. We are just getting demolished. You know, when a new building just basically collapses on itself, this is what's happening here. Literally on the week's end, every week we've been closing red candle days, red candle weeks, and the only exception was this one, which was the 30th of May 2022 closure, and that was a green candle. But however, we still had that waterfall spill, you know, down to the $20,000 area mark. So are we going to come down, right? Are we going to come down to these areas of $10,000 to $11,000? Is Richard going to be right here? Well, again, we've talked about this. We got to take a look at the macro picture. If the Fed continues to raise interest rates, if they continue to raise interest rates, and the interest rate pace that they are doing it at, right? If they're more aggressive, then you can see Bitcoin fall to these levels. These are not out of the question, right? These levels are not out of the question. And usually bear markets, they take about a year, right, before an actual bottom is reached. So if we were to extrapolate our top right here, and we were to go 365 days into this, where would that lead us, right? That would lead us right around the 7th or 8th of November of 2022. Okay, so it's not too far off where we actually reach a bottom, right, around $10,000, $11,000, and that is around the corner, right? November. It's only a few months off, and this is not a crazy idea to see us basically bottom around $10,000 to $11,000 around November. So not crazy, right? Not crazy at all for us to think that we can come down to these levels. However, what I'm looking for in terms of this, what I'm looking for is a bounce play. And what is the most likely scenario if we find a bottom here and we were to essentially get either rejected at certain points. So what I'm looking for is, if this was the bottom, right, I'm looking for a rejection from this resistance line that is coming around the 4th of April, and that would just put us around right here, guys, right around 26%, which would be around the $26,000 area. If we are able to break that resistance line, then we are looking back, forward testing to the areas of $30,000 to $32,000, and that will give us a little bit momentum. The picture has cleared a bit. However, in order for us to get really, really bullish on the macro weekly time scale, we need to get back above those $30,000 critical areas that we were basically holding as support right here. It was support right here, and we just completely shattered it. Okay, there is literally no floor in support. The more times you test that support area, right, usually the third or fourth time, you are bound to break it. And if you're not able to bounce off of those low key areas, then you are in for a waterfall, and that's what we basically saw here, a basic spill in price. Now, look, long term, if you're a long term investor, we talk about this on this channel, right? We always say, DCA, these are great prices to dollar cost average into, right? You are down, literally, right here, guys. You are down to these levels of 72% from the all-time high. If you are dollar cost averaging for the long term, right? When I say long term, I mean 2 to 3 years into the next halving. These are great opportunities to be buying in at, right? And if you were to buy at these prices, right, and you're not trading it like I am trading it here, the way we show you at Crypto Bros, you would be having another 40% downside, okay, if you were to buy at these prices. Now, can you handle another 41% downside here? Now, that is up to you to make. It's not financial advice, but I'm just showing you where you could be dollar cost averaging in terms of your support levels and your resistance levels right here. So these are key target areas around $20,000 area. Now, if you talk historically, right? If you talk historically, we have never ever fell below the previous all-time high. Now, just because we haven't fell below the previous all-time high during the birth of Bitcoin 12, 13 years ago, that doesn't mean we can't below and there's a new trend. There's a trend change, right? So meaning that we can fall below $20,000, right? And that would be a historic moment that if we were to fall below 20,000, we would break the previous all-time high. The previous all-time high from 2017 as support, right? We would break below it, and that is very, very historic because it's never been done before, where we go back, right, we test that support area from our previous all-time high and we break below it. So these are historic times we are living in, and because they are historic times we are living in Bitcoin right now, right, these are historic time economically because we've never seen Fed interest rate hikes take us into a bear market, right? We're seeing inflation running rapid around the world, and they're trying to basically tighten this up so it doesn't get out of control. But they're incompetent. They cannot control inflation. Inflation will always run rapid, guys. Inflation will run rapid as long as they put pressure on society. The society will push back in order for them to print more money. And once the printer starts again, you're gonna see Bitcoin make new all-time highs. That is certain, where all these assets will go back to new all-time highs. But we are hedging ourselves short term, and we're expecting a bounce here, right? We're looking for a bounce to these areas of $25,000, $26,000. So, you're looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to count this as a red candle. 9, 10, 11 weekly candle closures to the downside, guys. Very historic, and we are expecting a bounce here. It's like when you take that basketball, right? You're trying to dribble that basketball, and there's literally no bounce. You need to pump some air, right? I want to get pumped up. I want to get pumped up right now, okay? I want to get pumped. I want to see a bounce. A bounce get us to $24,000 to $25,000, and then you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna get some sell-off, right? We're gonna put in that lower high right here, guys. And if we were to break above that $26,000 area, if we were to close a daily candle closure, we can confirm there is a trend occurring here where we can put a higher low. And if we are able to put a higher low and get some higher high structures on the macro scale, right, on the weekly time frame, hover around these areas right here, then we could see the trend change, right? You can see the trend change. And then if we come back and retest these levels of $30,000 area, that will be a key moment for us. Either we get rejected back down to the $20,000 mark. So it's not out of the question that we see $10,000 price action, right? From $20,000 to $30,000 within the next coming weeks, if we do see that bounce, right? If there's no sell pressure in the stock market. So we can basically hover around here and then work our way over time, right? We still got until November, right? Until November, which will complete a 1 year cycle, a downtrend, and which what Bitcoin does, right? A downtrend that will get us around the November area right here, guys. So should probably fix this like that. Okay, but that's what I'm kind of expecting here, what I'm looking for. I'm looking to play the bounce, and then once we get the bounce, hopefully then we can kind of go from there. Now let's take a look at Hex real quick, guys. So same thing, I'm expecting a bounce on the daily for Hex, right? I'm looking for Hex to get that bounce. We're looking for that bounce to get to this resistance line of 4 and 4.5 cents, and I'm looking to play that move. I want to basically sell this move off, look at that lower high, accumulate more Hex, because it's all about accumulation in the bear market, right? You're looking to accumulate as much as possible. At the moment, right, we can't really short Hex, okay? There is no exchange that really allows us to, from what I know, there is no real exchange that allows me to short Hex at the moment. And if we did have the ability to short Hex, right, then I would short it around the 4 and 4.5 cent area, around this resistance. And if we were to break that area, right, of 4 and 4.5 cent, then we are looking at price targets right here. We're gonna make higher highs and higher lows and work our way back to that macro resistance line of 13 to 14 cent area, okay? And that is key critical. But however, we got to take this step at a time, guys. We always here at Crypto Bros look at the bigger picture, because we can see over time, if we're to work our way up, right, if we're to get to 12, 13 cents, these are great opportunities for you to basically dollar cost average into these positions of 3.5 cents, right? So these are good opportunities for you to get into. So let's say Hex does go to the 13, 14 cent area, right? There's a lot of resistance around this area, and I know we will get rejected, right? We will get rejected and then maybe start falling back down, right? So I am trying to accumulate. It's an accumulation, right, phase that we need to put our mindset into, right? We have to change our mindset. We have to change the way we think, the way we look at the charts, because the trend is your friend, right? The trend is coming down. It's a bear market. It's pushing us down to lower prices. And you got to understand, once we hit these key resistance areas, there are selling points that sellers will come into the market and sell the market off. So these are the areas that I am looking at, that I'm keeping an eye on, short term, medium term, and long term, guys. There are key areas that you can play. I did buy Hex around 3 cent area, and I'm looking for that bounce to basically sell off into, and then continue to just dollar cost average into Hex from there, and continue to accumulate. And then hopefully once the bear market is over, Pulsechain comes out, Pulsex, all that cool stuff, there will be hype around the launch of Pulsex and Pulsechain, guys. Make no mistake about that. The buyers will come in, push the price up, and then basically sell us at the resistance points we are looking at. So these are key target areas that we are looking on Hex here. Okay, let's just quickly move on to Ethereum. So again, I've made a video, right, back testing. We do a lot of back testing here at Crypto Bros. When you do back testing and you do your homework, right, you are able to get a better picture of how you can take some trades, where to dollar cost average into great positions. You're not going to time the market, right? You're not going to sell the the market on time. You're not gonna buy the market on time. We just want the in between, right, or close to the bottom, or close to the top, right? These are price points we are looking for. And if you are able to kind of shift your mindset into that, look, you're not gonna time the market, right? We don't have a crystal ball, right? I don't have a crystal ball in my hand, and I can say, look, I can see the future. I know what the top of the market is and what the bottom of the market is. We're not here to do that. We're not here to time the market. We are here to get the best bang for our buck. And I see a lot of opportunity at the moment. When you do your back testing, when you are able to do your back testing, you can understand where these critical areas are and the opportunity presents itself. So I've made this video here, and you can see every time we had major drops in Ethereum, right? So every time there has been major drops in Ethereum, okay, if you haven't seen or watched that video, go back and watch that video. Essentially, every time we've had almost 60 to 70% drop in the price of Ethereum, they presented great opportunity for us long term to get into, for great opportunities to multiply your capital here. So right now, at the moment, from that previous high to the swing low, if this was a bottom right here, it's a 71% drop. And usually from 60 to 70% drops, they present great opportunities to the upside. And when I mean upside, I am talking about upside of 156%. So we're looking at price targets of 2,500 for Ethereum. And that's where our next resistance on the macro scale comes in. Now, guys, these things, they do take time. They do take time. So you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware that these things take time. Even though the indicators are showing bottomed out, right? They have to basically shift. They have to shift on the lower time frames in order for us to start making these moves on the higher macro time scale. So keep an eye on Ethereum. Ethereum is cheap at the moment. If we're to fall below these levels, I'm looking at price targets of $500 to $600. That is if Bitcoin, right, were to fall to $10,000 area. Now, just something I noted here on Twitter that I want to make you guys aware of. Celsius and Terra have shown the cracks in DeFi and ETH. This is the turning point where developers and protocols are improved to ensure DeFi grows to handle trillions of dollars in asset without mass liquidation of the entire market. So one of the cool things, guys, about Ethereum, it's basically plug and play, right? You have all this liquidity in Ethereum. Any developer can come in and just tune into that liquidity that's available for them. No other network provides you that capability. But one of the downsides of that is when you come into this liquid market and you're testing in an actual market, right? You're not testing on a playground, right? Before you actually go live, is that there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And we've seen that happen with Celsius, right? We've seen that happen with centralized entities coming in and basically plugging themselves to these DeFi protocols that are built on Ethereum. And there's a lot of things that can go wrong that I think a lot of companies that are in the crypto space, or a lot of developers that are developing on Ethereum, they fully haven't thought this through, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't have these mass liquidations in the market, right? You wouldn't see Celsius, you wouldn't see Terra, UST, and all that stuff. Even though Terra, it's its own network and failed by itself, Ethereum, I think, and these developers building on Ethereum need to basically grow and understand that we have to create products where we're not tributizing the whole market, right? We're not tributizing the whole market in terms of liquidating these massive amounts of capital, right? We're talking about billions and billions of dollars getting liquidated here. And is that essentially good? Possibly. Long term, yeah, it teaches a lot of people, listen, don't invest more than you can afford to lose. These companies invest more than they can afford to lose, and we saw that Celsius is over leveraged, Terra was over leveraged into their protocol, and we saw the outcome, right, of that. When you over leverage yourself, these are things that you're gonna have to face. Liquidation, right? Margin calls. These are things that happen in the traditional market. But how can we grow as a DeFi and basically develop products where we don't affect the market as a whole, right? Where we don't go down 50 to 60% because Terra went down or UST went down or Celsius went down. How can we fix these problems long term so that we don't get mass liquidation and affects the market as a whole? It doesn't look good, guys, when companies like this or people or whales basically lose a lot of money, okay, due to incompetent development of the protocol or the products they are building. So it's not good long term, guys. But again, things will grow. One thing to leave you off, again, I don't know what's happening with Justin Sun or Tron, but just he's saying Tron DAO Reserve will withdraw another 3 billion in TRX to safeguard the overall blockchain and the crypto market. So I don't know if he's the guardian of the galaxy of the whole crypto market, but I mean, it's fun to poke fun at Justin Sun because, again, guys, I don't know what this guy is doing. Look, he has a lot of capital. He has a lot of money. Okay, we can see that. He's shown us his hand that this man has a lot of money and billions of dollars he can throw into the market. And Justin Sun, again, he's been around since 2017, right? With Tron, he's been developing it. He's been working on it. But there were sources saying that he basically left the project to pursue other things, right? And he's meeting with all these presidents around the world, doing all these things, meeting with these investors like Warren Buffett. So the guy has a lot of connection. He has a lot of billions of dollars, and he is something to watch in the future in the crypto space, right? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. This is going to play out, right? This is going to play out, and he could affect the market in the future in a bad way, right? We don't know. But anyways, guys, I'll leave you off with that. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, consider subscribing if you're here at Crypto Bros. Give it a like. It does help me out a lot. Share the video. Share the live stream. We love making live streams and communicating with you guys on YouTube here. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you off with that. If you do want to follow me on Twitter, go ahead and check me out. My tag is